The controversy over Joy Behar's comments about Mike Pence's faith aren't going away. On ABC's The View, Joy Behar said it's one thing to talk to Jesus, it's another thing when Jesus talks to you. That's called mental illness, if I'm not correct, hearing voices. Well, Wednesday, Behar and her co-host tried to walk back those comments, but that's drawing even more fire. Brent Bozell is president of the Media Research Center. He joins us now for more, and we welcome our Facebook viewers, and we encourage you to send in your questions and comments. Brent, yesterday, Joy Behar tried to deflect the controversy, saying she was joking. Was that enough?
How funny was it?
Yeah.
It's not funny at all. She was joking. Let's explain the joking. They were ridiculing Mike Pence's Christian faith. They were ridiculing it. They weren't joking about it. Secondarily, this is a long history that Joy Behar has of insulting Christians. She's a bigot. There's just no other way of putting it. She has, in the past, she has equated Christianity to the Taliban. She has called the Alliance Against Defending Freedom a hate group, and now she calls it a mental illness. This is bigotry of the first order. This is not something that she should explain away by saying, I was just joking about it. She needs to apologize. She needs to apologize to the Vice President of the United States, not just because he's the Vice President of the United States, but because he's a Christian. And any Christian who is offended that way deserves an apology. I think ABC needs to do a little bit of soul searching. What in the world are they doing employing people who are known and very, very unrequited bigots against Christianity? I dare say, in the old cliche, here we go again, what would happen if Joy Behar had said this about Muslims?
Now, Brent, I know you sent a letter to the president of ABC News, so what do you want him to do? Do you want him to fire Behar?
We're not calling on that. I think he needs to have a serious conversation about what his network stands for. But at the very least, he needs to apologize. And he needs to tell her and the people at The View, they need to apologize. Don't go on television and give me some cockamamie explanation. Apologize for what you did. Look, I accept apologies when people apologize. I think when somebody made a mistake and genuinely feels penitent about it and apologizes, a Christian should accept that apology. And I would, and I know the Vice President would as well. But that's what needs to happen. Now, I can tell you, and we've been tracking this, over 13,000 people have called his office. Think about that. 13,000 people have called his office. Social media is aflame talking about this. I think Christians are sick and tired of being insulted by people like her on shows like The View.
Maybe they should invite the Vice President on The View and have Behar apologize in person to him. I'm sure he would be glad to come on The View and share some of his views. So,
what was that line on that television, that movie? You can't handle the truth?
Yeah. Well, some people might not know, Brent, that The View is an ABC News program. Is this really a news show?
Well, it is in today's news media. It absolutely is. And these are the kind of people that ABC puts forward as newsmen. I mean, look, you've got George Stephanopoulos, who leads their biggest news program. He's nothing but a spokesman for Bill Clinton and a financial supporter of the Clinton Foundation. And they have him on there as an objective anchor. This is the way of news today. There's no semblance of objectivity anymore. These are people who are hardened leftists. I don't know if Stephanopoulos is. He's a liberal, but Joy Behar, is a hardened leftist.
Has the ABC president replied to your letter?
No, he's not replied to anybody so far, and we're just going to continue. And next is the conversation with the advertisers. The advertisers paid for this, and they need to do a little bit of soul searching on what in the world are they doing sponsoring a show like this.
Now, you've been following the American media for many years. I know that you and I first met probably back during the mid-Reagan presidency. It was Howard Phillips, I think, who introduced us. Now, are you seeing more bias against Christians now than we did back then? And what's the reason for that, if so?
I think there was bias going back 30 years ago, but it's been replaced by hatred. And that really is the difference between liberals and leftists. I pine for the good old days of George McGovern, Joe Lieberman. Joe Lieberman, had a 2% ACU voting record, but you could break bread with him. I would have him at press conferences talking about religion. He would be standing at my side. I have an immense respect for him as a man, even if we differed politically. This is not your father's Oldsmobile. This is not the same liberalism that we had then. This is a radicalized left that really does despise Christianity, and it does despise Christians. Look, their North Star is the Southern Poverty Law Center that calls Christian groups hate groups, and they're following in the footsteps of the Southern Poverty Law Center. That's what Christians are facing. And the sooner the Christian community realizes what it's up against, the better it's going to be.
Well, finally, what would you like to see us do as believers?
Well, I think that Christians have to be much more outspoken. I think Christians need to realize and speak out against the bigotry. I think that there need to be protests. I think Christians need to start writing advertisers and calling on advertisers and tell them, you're sponsoring bigotry. And I don't know if the XYZ corporation would like it if its customers knew that it was funding bigotry. I think there needs to be a lot tougher action taken by Christians. Look, I'm a Catholic. I sure as heck wish the Catholic Church would get involved.
Okay, Brent Bazell from the Media Research Center, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you on Facebook. Share your comments and questions with us. We look forward to that. Brent, if I don't talk to you beforehand, have a great St. Paddy's Day.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
God bless.